Top 5 shaders for MCPE 1.18. Starting off with the Hoax enchantment shader. The Hoax enchantment shader is perfect for low-end devices. We have smooth and simple textures that will run on literally any Minecraft device. You will notice that we do have brighter lighting and somewhat darker defined shadows. And also what's really cool is that they make the colors a bit more saturated, which I hope you guys are able to notice. So that is definitely a major plus about this shader. And what's really cool is that the water is actually not really changed that much. And the reason that is so that we don't have to like lag whenever using this shader and all that. But here's how the underwater does look like. It looks pretty good, simple, but it gets the job done. In terms of the sky, it is pretty basic, but once again, these are simple shaders that are meant to cause absolutely zero lag. But anyways, boys, here's how the sunset does look like. It's simple, it's basic, but it gets the job done. Next up, we have the updated SERP low-end device shader. This is another amazing shader that is perfect for low-end devices. Off the bat, you will notice that we get brighter lighting and way more darker and defined shadows, which is definitely a major plus. You will also notice that all the lighting is made to be a bit more saturated, which once again will make the shader look way more better. In terms of the water, we get this really cool animation, and it is just super duper realistic. You can see all the water just moving around and all that. But if we go underwater, here's how things do look like. They look absolutely fantastic. We are able to get a distortion effect, and we're able to see the shadows underwater as well, which is definitely a major plus. You'll also notice that we have these really nice looking clouds over here that definitely add a lot over here. So we have a nice simple looking shader over here that gets the job done, and you're able to see that slowly it does emit a little bit of light and is even reflected on the water as well, which definitely does look pretty amazing. You guys can definitely use this in your Minecraft world. Next up, we have the spectrum shader. The spectrum shader is made to be incredibly simple. We have brighter lighting and darker defined shadows. However, the colors are not made to be incredibly saturated to the point where it just looks a little bit off, so I feel like they do make a perfect balance of that. Now, what's really unique about this shader without a doubt has to be its amazing looking water. The water has so much nice and defined detail to it as well, and furthermore, it actually does have reflections of the sky as well, and it does like move whenever we do just go through the water over here, which is definitely a major plus. But if we go underwater, here's how things do look like, and we have a amazing looking distortion effect over here. It looks super duper amazing. As you can tell, we're able to see like the light just go through the ocean floor and all that, and we're able to see all the lighting effects, and of course we're able to see the distortion effect. In terms of the sky, we have one of the most realistic skies out there. I hope you guys are able to notice there's so much detail to them, and that definitely does add a bit of realism to this shade over here. If we set this bad boy to sunset, here's how it does look like. It looks super duper amazing. Look how big that sunset is, and you'll notice that it emits so many different shades of yellow, orange, all that good stuff, and best of all, it's even reflected on the water as well, which just makes the shader a million times better and much more realistic. And best of all, even though we get all these crazy reflections, we are still running the shader pretty smoothly. Next up, we have the milk shader. I really love the name of the shader as well. Milk, like why is the shader called milk? Come on guys, why is it called milk? But anyways, boys, we have brighter lighting and darker defined shadows, and also it kind of looks like they desaturated some of the colors. They're not as saturated as like the other shaders, and not even as like the vanilla Minecraft, so that is definitely something to note. And once again, this shader really does shine in the water over here. The water looks absolutely amazing. We're able to see through it, and it looks pretty simple. So once again, it's not going to cause you any significant lag or anything like that. But if we go underwater, here's how things do look like. Now, things actually look way more transparent than the vanilla Minecraft, and it definitely does look amazing. Take a look at that, boys. It looks super duper insane, really simple, but sometimes simple is better, and I absolutely love it what this shader has done to the sunset. They made it into a diamond formation, and we get a reflection of the sunset on the water as well. It looks so amazing. Lastly, we have the Kamii shader. The Kamii shader definitely does make the lighting brighter, and it definitely does make the shadows much more darker and defined. But where this shader truly shines has to be its water. Take a look at the water over there, boys. As you can tell, there is so much detailed animation. It honestly looks super duper amazing. I hope you guys are able to notice. And there's even like reflections on the water themselves that showcase like the sunset and the clouds and all that. So I will admit, it may get a little laggy whenever you are near a big body of water, but whenever you are far away from the water, you actually are able to run this shader with like little to no lag, and that definitely is a major plus. And also, what's really cool about the shader is that they don't really go overboard with the saturation. You know, everything just looks pretty chill. It doesn't like burn our eyes or anything like that, if you know what I mean. If we go underwater, here's how things do look like. As you can tell, things are made to be a little bit simple. You know, we're able to see through things, but we do get this really cool floor pattern over here that really just shows off the light that's going through the ocean right over here. All right, boys, but here's how the sunset does look like. The sunset looks absolutely phenomenal. It's really detailed, and best of all, we even do get a really strong and noticeable reflection of the sunset on the water over there, which definitely does add a lot to the shader and it adds a bit more realism to it. And we get so many different shades of orange, blue, all that good stuff. See you later, French fries.